I posted recently about never giving cops consent to search. And I've posted that before, and I'm going to post it again. It's going to be something I post often because I want to hammer a point in, right? I want people to know that they do not have to give cops consent to search, that it just makes the cops' job easier. The cops have a job to do, and a lot of times we make the cops' job easier to send us to jail. We help them. We help them. We've all watched First 48 and seen Sergeant Mason in an interview room, and the people just give up and say everything without them maybe have to do a real investigation, right? They just, and the cops are allowed to lie, right? They're allowed to say, we heard this, we know this, we were told this. And once you tell your story, that's the story, right? Consent is like that in a way. If you get pulled over, right? And even if you know you don't have anything in your vehicle, even if you know your vehicle's clean, it's not about that. And the reason is because you don't know what's in your vehicle. You think you know what's in your vehicle, but you don't. There's so many situations in which other people are in your vehicle, or you're not attending to your vehicle, or you haven't looked into your vehicle, and we take all of that for granted. I'm gonna just ask you this one question. I'm gonna ask you this one question, and be honest with yourself. Nobody else will know. Nobody else can see you. Be honest with yourself. When's the last time you searched your vehicle? Yeah, I'll wait. So for the one or two of you who have, did you also look in the hood? Did you also look in the trunk? Do you also check every morning or every night before you drive out? If your light's working, your backlight working, your license plate light is working? No, it's not something we do. I'll tell you a story, and all of us have a story similar to this in some form or fashion, right? Years ago, a couple years ago, about 5 years ago, I took a colleague home, and she was in the back seat. And once I dropped her off, she went on her way, right? A couple days later, I'm cleaning out the car or something, and I noticed a pill, small prescription pill, was where she was sitting. So it must have been in her purse and fell out. If I would have got pulled over in that time period before I found the pill, and the cops asked for consent to search, and I would have gave them consent to search, I would have went to jail for having a prescription drug without a prescription, right? For having a narcotic without a prescription. I would have went to jail. I would have got arrested. I would have had to bail out, or have to get an attorney just to prove that it wasn't mine. All of those things. And it happens every day to people. And I didn't know this was in my vehicle, right? Let's say I would have got pulled over and the cops were shining a light because the pill was sitting right on top of the back seat, right there, plain view. If a cop would have been shining a light in my vehicle, they would have saw that. And that item being in plain view, that narcotic being in plain view, would have given the cops consent to search for all of my vehicle. I said giving them consent. It would have gave them the right without consent. It would have gave them the right without consent to search my entire vehicle. Because cops are allowed to search whatever they're looking for may be found. They're allowed to search wherever what they're looking for may be found. Now, this is assuming you don't give them consent. If you give them consent, they can search wherever. So if they're looking for small drugs, they can search the glove compartment. They can search wherever. And if you give them consent, they can search wherever, right? But in a situation where that pill was on the seat, they would have saw it. Now they can search for other pills because they're going to arrest me. And on top of it, they're going to tow my car and do what's called an inventory search. An inventory search is really just an excuse for the cops to tow your vehicle and search everything and find more stuff. I am a criminal defense attorney. I've been doing it since 2013 specifically. I've been a public defender at the Harris County Public Defender's Office, right? So many cases that I see is because people gave the cops consent and made their job easier. If they hadn't done that, they wouldn't be in front of me. I wouldn't be representing them. It's really that simple, right? It's really that simple. The cops know what they know. They know what they need to do to have a case to arrest somebody. The average person doesn't, because that's not the lane in which they operate in. That's not the lane in which they operate in. So if you tell the cop, no, you don't have consent, now they might have to get a warrant, or now they might have to do more work to get into your vehicle or to get into your home. If they end up still doing it, okay. Getting a warrant or doing all that other stuff, okay. Let the lawyer figure out the rest. But on your end, you're covered because you did not give them consent. They can't say you did. And if you did give them consent, you can take it away. So if a cop pull me over and they ask to search the vehicle, in a quick moment I say yes, I can immediately say no. Or if it's been a minute and I change my mind, you can always revoke. That's called revoking that consent. If you give consent, you can also take it away. Right? And they're going to try to trick you, play mind games. They're going to say the famous phrase they always say, if you ain't got nothing to hide, what's wrong with it? What's wrong? What's the issue? If you ain't got nothing, what's the problem? Let me go in the vehicle. And they're not always going to ask straight up, do you give me consent to search? They're going to say, you going to let me search the vehicle? Can I search your vehicle? Can I look into your vehicle? They're going to say it in a conversational tone. It's not going to be, do you give me consent? But when I'm reading that police report, it's going to say suspect gave me consent to search. They're not going to write it in the police report how they said it to you in person. Also, you got to understand that even though the cops are talking to you, they're really speaking to the camera that they're wearing. It's 2020. Most all police agencies have body cameras and dash cameras in the vehicle, right? That's why you see on DWI cases when people are doing field sobriety testing, you see the videos in front of the car. They're positioning those people there because that's where the camera is. That's where the camera is. Because the cops know this case might go to trial. So the judge, prosecutor, and jury needs to be able to see this. So even though they're talking to you, a cop is always speaking to the judge, prosecution, or the jury down the line in a potential trial. That's why they use the language they use and talk how they talk. So in the moment, you think this person's talking to me, but they're really speaking to the camera, right? And as a criminal defense attorney, it's weird how the camera doesn't come on until right before they're talking to you. I don't know what the cop was saying to his partner beforehand to justify why they might pull somebody over, but I'm not going to get into all that right now, right? Back to consent. It makes their job easier. It makes it easier for them to enter into your life and potentially arrest you. And coupled with the fact that you don't know what's in your house, in your car, anything. You think you do, but you don't. You don't. If you don't give them consent and then they still go and do it, you're covered. Or if they still get a warrant, okay, let the lawyer figure out if the warrant was good. Or if they say, well, I smelled the odor of marijuana, okay, you can't do anything about that. If you don't give them consent and they go in there, your vehicle, your home anyway, just step aside because you want to come out alive, right? The most important thing is you surviving the encounter. So just step aside, but just know you're covered. I'm telling you, as a lawyer, you'll see these cases. I have so many cases where consent is just freely given. And these are cases in which people had drugs in the car and they know they had drugs in the car, but they felt like they still had to tell the cop, okay, right? So for the people who are on the fence, like, I ain't got nothing, I know I ain't got nothing, I think I'm gonna give them consent, understand you don't know what's in your vehicle. But for the people who know they got stuff, let me keep it 100. For the people who know they got stuff in their vehicle, number one, stop smoking weed in your vehicle. Stop smoking weed in your vehicle. Cops, if they smell weed, they can search wherever they want to without a warrant. So stop smoking weed in your vehicle if you know you're riding dirty. You understand what I'm saying? Stop doing it because it gives them an out. Now, there's an argument that you can say in some states where weed is legal, that's not a reason to allow the cops in. Okay, but a lot of states, weed is still not legal, like in Texas. And even though there's this hemp law that some places can argue, it's not a for sure thing. Some judges follow that and some judges don't. Right? Right? So if you have stuff in your vehicle, definitely don't give them consent. Just say no. Make them do the work. Make them do the work. Make them do their work. Make them do their job. Don't make their job. Their job isn't, hey, can I have consent? Can I search your vehicle? And you saying, yeah, that's not their job. Their job is getting a warrant, finding a reason to have some other probable cause. That's their job, right? That's their job. Don't make it easy for them. Don't make it easy for them. So if you have nothing in your vehicle, you think you don't, but you really don't know, so don't give them consent. If you have something in your vehicle, definitely don't give them consent. If you do give them consent, you can take it away. Please stop. I revoke consent. Can I search your vehicle? Yes. Nope, I changed my mind. No, you can't. And you can do it 5 seconds later, 10 seconds later, a minute later. All right? Don't give cops consent to search. Is there a polite way to say it? No, sir, you do not have consent. No, ma'am, you do not have consent. No, I do not give consent. Just say it politely, right? You can't control how they're going to react. That's not on you. That's not on you. Okay? Don't give cops consent to search. Don't give cops consent to search. If you gave them consent, take it back. Take it back. Take it back.